team
They're not gonna
bonding
be like,
experience.
"Oh, Haran, I know you didn't call, so we're gonna skip over you." They're not gonna say that, even though they want to. You lazy piece of.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Interesting Discussion, sometimes special number 130. Yay. Okay, great. Nobody else fucking cares. Okay, so on this episode...
But why is that a special number? I mean,
I don't know. It's a round number, you know?
Yeah.
Nice and...
AC 130 called in the kill streak.
Oh,
He's got 12 kills in a row.
Ooh.
11 with Hardline, though.
Okay, fucking nice. All right, so this episode we're gonna recap some life events. That's pretty much like this whole episode is like recapping life events. Harsha is gonna give a surprise speech, unrelated to his life event that we're gonna talk about. I think honestly, is there anything else that's gonna happen this episode? I don't think so.
Hey, why you making such a
If you guys don't care
man?
about us, just
no. I mean, like, there's a
that's
lot
next.
of life events. They're gonna take up like a lot of the episode. That's what I mean.
Yeah, fair.
So, where would we like to start?
Christian, you sound a little congested, man. Do you have COVID or something?
Man, you're such a dickhead. You know, I bet it's Harsha who gave it to me too. I bet he like.
Oh, he gave it all right.
Yeah, he
I'm not sure
slobbered it
about
all
COVID.
over everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess we should start there. I have COVID. Surprise.
Hey, last one. Congrats.
Yeah.
We've been waiting. We've been
we
expecting
didn't
you.
we didn't even talk about that. We didn't even get to talk about when Tarun got COVID and like all that shit. That's like it's been that long since we've all recorded together.
Wait, did we not? I thought I talked about Spain and stuff.
No. Yeah, I mean it's been that while. It's been that long.
Holy shit!
Did we not?
Yeah, we
I
did.
thought we did. No, I thought we did.
No, because we recorded before you're supposed to leave.
Yeah.
Great.
Why do I feel like we did too? But I don't know why.
I swear.
Because we
did.
talked about it in person.
No,
Yeah,
we
guess.
talk about it on the podcast, man.
Why are you crying?
I'm not
Did you not want to
crying.
talk about it again?
Okay, so I guess getting back to the main tangent is I have COVID. I got it from visiting Nova, probably from going out. I would assume. I'm not sure, but I'm just gonna assume it's that. I tested positive on Monday night last week. It's currently Tuesday, and as of Sunday, I'm still testing positive, so that's great. Most of my symptoms gone away. I still congested. I don't have like a great sense of smell, but it's not like it's not there at all. I just have a weird taste in my mouth. It's kind of gross. I've been taking a lot of NyQuil all day, all night. No DayQuil, all NyQuil. I actually have my last dose tonight, so if I don't feel better tomorrow, then I'm fucked.
Dayquil, bro. That's a new move.
Yeah, but then there's so much DayQuil. But yeah, we'll get into like why I was there later. But yeah, let's run it back because I was the last one to get COVID, and so I guess the streak ended with me. I got 2.5 years. I was trying to never get it. I was actually just planning on getting my booster this week, but I guess that doesn't fucking happen now.
Yeah, you got the natural booster, man. It's even better if you think about it.
Yeah, but then I wouldn't have had to get COVID.
Yeah, I know. You're not wrong.
Anyway, so Tarun, take it away. We were all very much anticipating your Europe trip, as were you, and things didn't go 100% to plan.
Yeah, so basically, I found out I had COVID the day before my flight to France. So for those of you who don't know, basically, I had a Europe trip planned where it was going to start in France. We would be there for like a week, basically, with like a 1-day day trip to Belgium in between. And then the last 5 days would be in Spain. So I tested positive for COVID the day before my flight. I was very sad and mad and all sorts of emotions.
Also, probably when we went out for Harsha's birthday. So, just to give you
Yeah,
another
well-
example of going out and getting COVID.
I also went to Raleigh the week before, so I could have gotten it there too. Who knows? I still had a good time at Harsh's birthday, despite the aftermath. Anyway, yeah, I was definitely down in the dumps, bro. I was like, when I got that positive, because like the day before I was feeling some symptoms, right?
Mhm.
And I paid like $100 something for same day PCR, like 15-minute PCR, something like that.
Mhm.
And it came back negative. And I took like 2 rapids that day. They were all negative. And I was like, oh, you know what? It's just like cold or something. I don't know. And the next day I was like, you know what? Before the flight, it's probably a good idea to check if I'm positive. Checked if I'm positive. I was like, fuck, man, I still want to go. Fuck this. I was so sad, all this shit. But then it was actually good that I did not decide to just go anyway. Number one, because, you know, for the health and safety of others, including my friends Emily and Vincent, who were also on the trip. But also, I definitely would have died if I was walking and traveling all around all day. Like, I would have been so shit. Like, at least at home, my family could take care of me, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, it ended happily because I was still able to go to Spain for like the last 5 days, and I met up with Emily and Vincent there, and we had a really good time. It was my first like real international trip. Like, I guess before I've been to like Canada and India, but Canada's kind of close, and then India's kind of just like India, you know.
It's like home. It's like not like a different place.
Just like home. Yeah. And their way of life out there, man. Yeah, I know Christian, you talk about it before, and I don't want to talk about it too much.
Oh, here we go, man. Turns becoming a Christian, man.
It's not me,
dude. Fuck it, man. No, I'm
fuck
it. Anyway, they converted me out there. No, yeah, man. They just have a different way of life, bro. Like, I just see people. Like, it would be like a Tuesday night, and people are out and about, just like chilling, drinking a beer at like midnight, and just like having a good time. People seem like way more happy there. I don't know. Also, siestas or some crazy shit, like having a nap in the middle of the day. You know, in our long travel days, we were just like walking around in the heat was like so nice.
Yeah, but low-key, I feel like being in a city is kind of like that too. Depends on what city you're in, but like, I feel like New York is pretty similar to that. Not the siesta part, but like the going out like on a random weekday night and just like people are just out and about. I feel like it's
I mean, that could be true, but I also think like New York is definitely like a work hard, play hard thing, where I feel like
it's more laid back,
like,
and
just like just fuck around, just fuck around and come out. You know what I mean? We saw like a bunch of cool architecture, like walking through like these Spanish streets. I went to Barcelona, by the way. I don't think I mentioned that. All the houses or buildings are like super colorful and all this shit, and the architecture is insane. So just like even just walking through it kind of felt like I was in like a movie where like, you know, like the title screen, they're like Barcelona in like big font, and then there's like a cool race car or whatever car, and like James Bond is driving through. Like, it kind of felt like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was just a good vibe, and also like, you know, people say like, you know, take vacation, you'll feel refreshed, all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, I know what you mean. But like when I came back, I was actually really, really fucking like refreshed mentally, which I was not expecting, and I was very happy about. So
how long did it take to wear off?
I don't think it's worn off yet. I just feel like I haven't been able to like really do anything because like the last couple of weeks I've been kind of busy with like school and shit, and then also my brother moved, so like doing that stuff, and then now I guess that segues into my ankle that I fucked up. I sprained pretty badly playing Harsha in tennis.
Such a dirty player, Harsha, man.
Yeah, I know.
God.
He like if you know who Nick Kyrgios is, like, you know how he like smashes his rackets and everything. Harsha did that to Tarun's ankle. Like,
oh my god. Yeah. You can defend your honor, Harsha.
Nah.
Okay. I'm sorry to hear about your injury, Tarun. That's rough.
Yeah, no, it's not good. So I'm currently icing it as we speak.
When do you think we'll be back on the courts?
Back in the courts? I'm never coming back.
It's traumatized.
No. I'm actually. I've been fiending to play tennis because I want to get better at it. So I'm down whenever this is like. I feel like I can't hurt it again if I go back.
So like when you came back, were you like super motivated to do well at your job because you're so refreshed from your vacation?
No. It actually had zero effect on my job. Completely zero effect. Like I thought maybe it would help like a little bit, but then I realized I just don't care.
So like pretty much how Spanish people care about work too. They just don't care. I actually
adopted their lifestyle. Exactly. Yeah. No, it didn't. But I was very, very like we went to like the National Museum of Catalonia, I think it was called. Beautiful museum, like insane art, like and it taught us a lot about like Spanish history and stuff, which I didn't think was like generally I'm not like interested in that type of shit, like meaning of the art or like, oh, this is from that era, blah 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 blah. But it was just really cool, honestly, because it was different from like American historical art, I guess, if you want to say that. So yeah, after seeing all that shit, I was like very motivated to like come back and like draw or paint or whatever, because I used to be into that when I was, like younger, like early, like middle school, early high school. But then I stopped. So I was like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna like wake up and like draw for 20 minutes every morning, which I did once, and then I didn't. But I'll continue in it. So it did help me in other aspects apart from work, which I don't really, work is whatever I do. Work will always be there. So
fair.
So do you think if that same museum was here in DC, you would go?
What do you mean? I mean, yeah. Like, are you saying? I see what you're saying. Yeah, it was pretty insane. Just like not even like if you just discount the art that was inside it, the building itself was fucking cool as shit. It was like it literally lived like, dude, I don't even know. There's probably like 200, 300 stairs that led up to it. And then there's like a waterfall in the front. It was like a huge fucking building, like bigger than Capitol Hill. And it's just a museum. And it's like beautifully architected. It's not like Capitol Hill is these fucking like, what are those pillars called, bro? Corinthian shit or whatever. You know what I mean? It had some like more character to it and color and vibes. But the view, you could literally see all of Barcelona from the top of it, which was pretty crazy. Like,
yeah.
That's cool that you felt refreshed after. I feel like on all the vacations I've been to, I just feel super tired after I come back home. And like I always wish that I had like a day in between the vacation and waking up to do work, How's the food?
The food was so good, man. I know Christian would talk about paella. Paella was banging.
Did I?
That's what you did.
I mean, like that's like the national dish, kind of. Yeah. But it's mostly a southern Spanish thing, paella, because of I guess like it's a more regional thing down there. But I mean, it's popular like throughout the country.
Dude, my problem with paella is it's great.
Okay, here we go.
No, my problem is that like, so I haven't been to Spain, but when you go to like Spanish restaurants here, right, and they like you get tapas and stuff, they always recommend you get like a certain amount of tapas and then get the paella, right? And I'm like, okay, that's good. But every time I'm with the group, we always like order way too much tapas. So by the time the paella comes, like we eat like maybe like one spoonful, and then we're like, we're all full, and it's just like it's not my problem, but it's just my problem with the way how the restaurants are run here, because the paella is actually so filling that we could honestly just get like one tapas and get the paella, and you're pretty much like full.
Yeah, I think well, also I think in Europe, not Spain specifically, but in like European like culture, like I think in America we're used to like, oh, sit down, get your food, eat, leave. Yeah. Where like in Europe it's more you're gonna be there for like 2-3 hours.
Yeah.
So like I think if the same portion of food was like spread out between like 2.5-3 hours, where like you get 2 tapas and then you get a paella, that'll last, and then you're like sitting there talking for like another hour and a half, like it'll like it won't be as like daunting to your stomach, even though you and I both eat very quickly. So
yeah,
maybe that's just a difference.
Yeah, the whole time though, like there were so many seafood options on the menu. I was thinking of you, Haran. I was like, you would have fucking loved this place because it tasted more fresh, I swear. Maybe that's just like some bias because I was just there, but yeah, I was like, Haran would fucking love this place. He would devour everything.
No, I had seafood in Greece and it was really good. And that was like a long time ago, but I still remember it.
Yeah,
pretty well.
I think I had more octopus and calamari and all that shit in like that 5-day span that I think I did in my whole life. Honestly, it was so fucking good. But yeah, to go back to your point about the portion sizes, it was pretty crazy because like it definitely was smaller, but it wasn't like too small where I was like, like this is like I can like right. I'm not even full, like it was a good portion. But I noticed it the most when I ordered a coffee. I ordered like a matcha latte and I was like, oh, let me get a small. And the small was probably like half or like a third of the size of like a small here
in the US.
And the large was like maybe like the size of a medium. And I was like, holy shit, we're fucking fat as fuck.
Yeah.
One gripe I have with Europe is that you have to fucking pay for water everywhere, and they don't have water anywhere. And
Yeah.
I was absolutely dying
That's
because I already sweat a shit ton, and I was just sweating everywhere when I brought my water bottle and like all this stuff. But I could not get cold water or ice anywhere. And so this one time, like actually after we left that museum, we walked down like this super long, like we walked down all those 300 steps or whatever, and walked down this super long street that they basically cut out just for this museum. And on the other side, it's a mall, right? We go into the mall, and I'm like sweating my balls off. So me and Vincent are like, oh, you know what? Let's go let's like refill our water. So we go to the Subway like kiosk thing, and we order like 2 bottles of water. And I ask her like, oh, like can I have like hielo from the ice from the ice machine, right? And she said, yeah, sure, because we already bought the water bottles, right?
Right.
So we go around, and there's essentially like a door. I don't know if it's a DoorDash or just like a Subway delivery driver, but he's waiting there on his bike for like the orders or whatever. And he sees me pour my water bottle, or like the one that I just bought, into my actual water bottle, you know? And then I take my actual water bottle, like the steel one, and then I go to the ice machine and I, press the thing in, and ice is falling in or whatever, right? And I walk away a bit, and then like the Subway lady that told me the ice is okay, whatever, she's like the delivery driver starts talking to that girl, and I can I just have that feeling that like, he's talking about me, you know what I mean? You have that feeling? So I like turn around, I'm like half listening, and he's like, yo, he can't take ice from the ice machine. What the fuck? And then she's like, tranquilo, like it's just like, she said she doesn't care because it's just water, right? And so then at this point, I turn around like, what the fuck? I look at him with like a what the fuck are you talking about, bro? It's fucking ice.
Snitches out here, bro. Damn.
Yeah, well, what the hell? And then like I look at her and she's like, no, it's okay. She was being really, really nice. Because it's just fucking water. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And then I'm holding this like empty plastic water bottle. I was like, I bought this with money. I bought this. So why is it bad that I got fucking ice on the side, bro? And he had no answer for me or anything. And I forget exactly what he said, but he said some shit where like, well, you can't do that or something like that. And then Vincent and Emily kind of chimed in a little bit with it. At that point, we're like fucking done and we walk away. And that pissed me off like the rest of the trip, because who the fuck takes that much time out of their day to like try to snitch on me for fucking frozen water? Fucking water. I know his salty ass is fucking just annoyed because he has to bike around in the heat all day and he can't get his own fucking water. But fuck you. I'm gonna get my water. Dickhead. God.
Whose side are you on, Harsha?
Honestly, like the driver has a point, like if he
This is the exact reason why he slapped me 20 times with that tennis racket and broke my ankle.
Did you slap you and then broke your ankle? Or
both? Yeah, he knocked me to the ground and then he's like, snap.
No, I think it's stupid. I have seen some places even here that like don't want you to put your water bottle like near the water or the ice just because of like germs. So I think that's fair. Like you put it in a separate cup and then you put it in your bottle, but having people like get angry at you to pay for it is stupid.
On a side note about water, did you ever get like the blue water bottles while you were there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
No. They're blue glass bottles. They're not blue plastic bottles.
Bro, that water was insane. How do you know about? Is that like a thing?
Yeah, that's like just like the normal like water. That's how it's sold, is in those like water bottles. And yeah, it's so like they have it at restaurants. They like have it at people's houses. They have it like, it's just like when I stayed there, like my host mom, she had like 4 or 5 of those like in her fridge that she just like refilled like throughout the day, like kept swapping them out because they're super useful too.
Yeah, actually, Vincent took one home because he thought the bottle was sick and he could put some like flowers in there. It's like a
yeah. They do that too. Yeah,
that water is fucking good. I had it at like a fancy restaurant. It's nice.
Yeah, it's like I don't really know how to describe it. It's kind of like, how. I mean, you guys may not because I don't think you guys drink milk, but like, how when you go to like a farmer's market or something, you get like those plastic jugs that you have to like pull the seal off of or something like that. It's the same sort of thing like that, except they're blue glass bottles. And they're probably the size of like, I don't know, like a Dasani water bottle or something. Like they're probably they come in different like sizes and everything, but yeah, most of them are, I would say like, I don't know, like 24 ounces. The other national drink of Spain is mahu. Did you ever have a mahu while you were there?
No.
Oh, that's like their beer. They're like number one beer.
Really? The only beer that I saw like everywhere was Estrella. Well, I thought it was Estrella, and then when we ordered it, the bartender was like, "Oh, you mean Estrella?" And I was like, "Yeah," and he's like,
Yeah, I think Mahu's like their like cheap-ish beer.
Oh, like a Natty Light.
No, not that cheap. Not that cheap. I mean,
Miller Lite.
I don't even drink like American beer, so I don't even know like what's compared to.
Michelob Ultra.
Okay, sure. Isn't that the champagne of beers? Yo, we take that. But yeah, and then Estrella too is also. I think they're both like on the same level, but I just know that all the like restaurants we go to, they'd also have like, oh, can I get a Mahu? And then I think I told you guys before about how they like cerveza con limón, where like they have beer and like lemon soda and they pour it in there, and they usually do that with the Mahu.
Facts. I tried 2 new beers there. One of them is the Estrella that I talked about. That one was really good. I don't know how to describe how it tasted, but it was like pretty smooth, even though it was a little bit bitter, kind of, but like in a good way. I don't really like super bitter beers like Guinness or whatever, but that one was good. And then I also had a Sapporo, which I know is not like Spanish in any way. It's like I think it's Japanese, but that one was also really good. I had that with sushi and it paired well.
Speaking of beer, I just wanted to chime in real quick. When I was in New York a couple weeks ago, I went to the Mexican restaurant, and apparently there's this thing, and I don't know if like a lot of Mexicans drink it, but it's called Michelada, and apparently you just put beer and hot sauce.
Oh,
and yeah, so that's pretty much what I had, and it wasn't that bad. I was like, because they both like I was with Kamal and Helen, and they got like some fancy cocktails, and I was like, oh, I just want a beer. And then I saw like beer and hot sauce, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" And then I asked the waiter, and he was like, "Oh, you got to get this." So I got it. It was all right. It was not bad. It was. I don't know if it was like I thought it would be like amazing the way like they were talking about it, and it wasn't like that. But I think it's the worth a try.
Was it just like a spicy beer?
Kind of, yeah. But like it has like something else in it too, and you put like a lime too. And
what color was it?
Just like kind of
dark red.
It's like orange, red. You know? I want like red. Yeah.
You guys like Modelo's?
Yeah, I'm a fan.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. When was the last time you had a Modelo?
Oh my god.
A couple of weeks ago, why you ask?
Oh, same. Yeah, nice.
I think it was together.
Oh shit, you're right.
Shit.
Maybe I had one too many Modelos.
I know
me
Christian
too,
had like 16.
16.
Christian had 16.
16. No shot. No, I was definitely more of a mixed drink guy that night.
Then why did I see you like do that thing where you tip it over and then you do the tornado thing and you drink it all at once?
But that wasn't with my mouth.
Oh god.
Anyway, is context needed?
No.
Okay. All right. Moving on.
Do you want to talk about it? What were you doing?
No, let's move on.
No, that's it.
All right, just to give some more context, I think we mentioned it at the beginning of the episode, but Christian did come down here for like a weekend, probably a week and a half ago now.
Yeah.
And the reason why he came was because a good friend of the podcast, Jackie and Remy, they recently got
engaged. They were recently on an episode after they were engaged.
Yeah, go listen to that one. That was a good one. They talk all about the engagement. But yeah, they had their engagement party a week and a half ago. So Christian came down, and we all went to that. That's when Modelos were consumed, and maybe some other activities on Christian done that we will not talk more about.
Not talk about that.
But yeah, it was just a nice event. Looking forward to their wedding whenever that will be. But speaking of weddings, actually, you're just coming up soon, man. Dude, you don't know stressed?
Like pretty soon, dude. Like pretty fucking soon.
Yeah, we're now like eight months away, I think, from the wedding, which is crazy. Because I just think like the way I think about time is like if I'm looking forward to something, I think about how much time has passed since that. So like 8 months ago from today is like just the beginning of this year. So like that was not that far away. So yeah, it's going fine.
What's
We
like
haven't
the what's like the
we-
current like hot?
Like we haven't done anything since like we haven't done anything like all summer basically, and like yeah, we haven't done anything for like 4 months.
It's just because like you're already on top of stuff, so you like have time to just.
Yeah, we're just taking our time, and it's kind of hard because some of the vendors are like more focused about weddings this year than thinking about weddings next year. Yeah, it'll pick up in the next couple of months or so. Like, Amrita's parents are going to India to do a bunch of shopping for a month, and then we have our Hindu engagement thing in November. And then that's when we're like technically able to start doing things like sending out the website, formally sending out invitations and like all that stuff. So yeah, it'll be like next year will be really super duper busy, but right now it's not that bad.
Well, you're gonna be insane.
There's the big changes in your life in the next year too.
We
Right?
didn't even get to talk about while it was it while I was down, or was it right before I came down?
Yes, before you came.
You you got accepted to grad school, your first grad school of many, I'm sure. Big guy. But this is
Big
one of your big choices, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I got into Northwestern, which is in Chicago. For those who don't know,
What's the name of their school?
Kellogg.
Kellogg.
They're great. So yeah.
Rescind the admission.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna go or not yet. But if I do, I'll have to move in January, so which is very soon. We'll just add.
Do you want to do a
business.
pros and cons list live on the podcast?
No, because I don't have. Because right now I don't have any other option, so I don't want to do that.
So that's a pro, right? Or is that a con?
But there's no need to do the analysis already.
Fair.
Yeah.
But congrats, man. That's big.
Thank you.
Hope you get into all the schools that you want to go to. But yeah, that's just in January. Like, is that going to be a lot of stress on you to like balance that wedding planning, and then you still working a job?
Yeah. Thanks for asking. It'll be a lot, but if I do go in January, then it's a quarter system, so I'll be back in March, and I'll just take that second quarter off, the spring quarter.
It's like the months leading up to the. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So
And you can really focus on what matters. The podcast. I like it.
Oh, but we'll have to record on 3 different time zones, bro. That's gonna be such a dick.
Oh shit! Yeah.
yeah,
What is the optimal time to record then?
Central.
Not.
So wait, if it's 7 for Huron, then it's 10 for us, and Harsha it's 9?
Yeah.
Or 8?
Yeah.
9.
Okay.
9. Yeah.
Damn.
Let's move that back an hour. Horan, you like 6
Yeah.
o'clock?
Yeah, but
Not really.
Shit, please, fam.
Weekend recordings only coming up soon.
Oh god. Maybe we'll just never record with us forever again. It's just
That'd
summer
be nice.
session. It's just
I mean,
become
what?
a yearly session.
Yearly session.
You want to have 365-hour long episodes
Yeah.
or 52-hour?
We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah, it should be soon.
And chill out, man. God.
Hey,
Enjoy the moment. Enjoy the moment.
no, fuck that. Horan, what's up with LA? How's it going out there? What's it looking like? What are the prospects?
Yeah,
Dude,
where
I
are you
still don't
going,
know,
man?
I still don't know.
God.
I'm talking to my manager on Thursday.
Dude, fuck your manager, man. Don't go.
Yeah, just stay.
I'm trying to see if I can stay till January, so I don't have to rush into this moving process and like kind of take more time. I don't know if I shared this with you guys, but so one of the websites that one of my coworkers told me to look at to like find potential roommates was called roomies.com, which sounded sus, but I was like, fuck it, I'll make a profile. So I did all that. A couple people messaged me, but like they wasn't really looking what I was looking for. And then this one guy messaged me, and like it was like $1,600 like rent, and I was like, oh, fuck yeah, and like it looked nice. He sent pictures, and I was like, okay, I'll talk to him the next day because he sent it at night. So like I'll message him in the morning. And then the next day I woke up and I got an email from Roomies, and they said, this guy that reached out to you has just been banned from the website for fraud or something. So I don't know if I'll be using that website much longer. We'll see. But so right now I'm looking at Facebook and stuff. But thing is, like, I need to first figure out when I need to get out there, and then I can like start actually like taking this seriously. Because I was talking to another coworker, and they were saying that like people are very like flaky with this stuff. That's like roommate situations and stuff.
Right.
So like, I don't really know how I'm gonna vet things, but
Yeah, Tarun really knows about flaky roommate situations, right, guys?
No, I don't know anything yet, actually, at all. You know,
Okay.
we'll see what happens for my New York plan around the same time.
But I'll be looking for living in like Huntington Beach, like more Orange County than it is LA. So if anyone listening to the podcast in that general area and likes what they hear from me and wants to live with me,
Hear him all the time.
you hear me all the time. Yeah,
Please only reach out if you've never been banned on roomies.com.
yeah, that's the only requirement. But yeah, hopefully by the next time we record, I'll have something to actually update with terms of like when I need to get out there by. But yeah, and in terms of my job, still like I guess I never talk about my job.
Oh yeah, you hadn't started your job yet.
I started my job.
Yo,
Started
it's
my
been
job
so
last time.
fucking long ago. Holy shit.
Yeah, I started my job last week. Oh wait,
2 weeks ago.
like 2.5 weeks ago. Yeah, but it's been fine. I mean, like still kind of just doing training stuff. I guess just real quickly, my job. I'm working at Siemens.
Yay.
And
He analyzes semen.
I'm
for the
I'm a
government.
support engineer for
Taste
their
tester.
simulation software called Star CCM Plus. But yeah, right now I'm just like doing training, learning the program. But soon I have to like look at my own project and shit, and like actually have real stuff to do soon. So that's kind of scary, but
Yeah.
I guess it's time to actually earn my money. I got a paycheck for doing absolutely nothing, so we should
Nah, dude, fuck that, man, dude.
Yeah, whatever, man.
Everyone says that. Everyone says that the first week or two, and they're like, "Yeah," and then they work half.
Dude, you don't
the-
understand, man. We do these team. I mean, I'm sure you guys do the same thing, but on my end, we do like these team meetings every week at the beginning of the week, and like everyone's like talking about like all the client like say they like problems that they had and like all the shit that they've been doing the whole week, and then it gets to me and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm learning like doing the modules online. I'm doing like tutorial documentation shit, and like I literally speak for like 20 seconds. I don't want to like BS them because they know they've done the same process. Like there's no point BSing these people, and I just feel so dumb, man. Like, I'm not saying anything.
Well, everyone has to
they
do
should just
that,
skip
though.
over me, huh?
Everyone has to do that though.
I know, but like they're actually like sharing shit, man. And
Yeah,
I'm
you will
just-
soon.
You will
So
too.
just enjoy
like,
it,
Yeah, but I'm
but
just
you
like,
don't have
why
to
do
do
I
it.
have to even talk? I feel like I'm just
Because
wasting
they
everyone's
wanted you
time.
to feel included.
Yeah.
Team
They're not going to
bonding
be like, "Oh,
experience.
Haran, I know you didn't. Fuck all." So
Fuck
we're
all.
not gonna- We're going to skip over you. They're not going to say that,
Yeah.
even though they want to. You
Yeah,
lazy piece of shit. No, okay. It's fine. It's
Uh-huh.
like that, man.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
I bet once you realize what everyone is doing, you realize that no one is doing anything at all. That's how it is for me.
I guess the cool thing is, so I guess like it's the start of the fiscal year soon. So like they're redoing like their account plans for all their clients, and I'm working with, they put me on the same team as this one girl that already has SpaceX. So like I'm just like gonna be kind of like learning stuff from her. But like I guess in my free time right now, I'm just like researching like SpaceX shit. And, like, yeah.
Oh, you're about
So?
to talk to Elon about a semen?
Let's
Mans
move on.
has so many kids, you know.
That is true, yeah.
He's got so many fucking kids.
Crazy dude.
Apparently, I saw a clip where apparently Mark Cuban like texted him and congratulated him on like having whatever number kid, and Mark Cuban was like, "Are you having any more?" or something like that. And then Elon's like, "Yeah, someone's got to colonize Mars, or we have to have people on Mars or something." So I think he's
Jesus.
just gonna send his kids there, which is
That's
hype,
mad.
bro.
Ew. No. Like second generation, they're all gonna have like 5 legs and shit.
Wait, what?
If you just, I know, but if you send only like his kids to Mars, they're all gonna start fucking inbreeding.
Oh god, it's true.
I see what you're saying.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
But back to Elon and like I guess more specifically his company Tesla. I was listening to a podcast recently and they were talking about how like in California, I think by like they're projecting by like 2030 something that they're gonna like just see sales of non-electric cars in the state. And like apparently like New York has a thing where they kind of follow what like California is doing in terms of like those things, and like they might just follow the same. So I guess the whole like electric car revolution, I don't know, like it's like actually pretty close to happening.
Well,
So.
I think they brought back like tax credit that you can get for buying electric vehicles. Like I think a few years ago you could get $7,500 or so if you bought a EV. And then I think they just brought that back, but I think there's like a salary limit or something, or income limit if you
Yeah.
get that or something.
I think that once they figure out like a more efficient way of charging and a quicker way of charging, like, it'll be even easier to expand. Because I think like that's like Among, I mean, I guess other things too, but like I feel that's like the biggest drawback for people trying to like.
No,
switch
I
to
definitely agree. I think Tesla is like years ahead of all the other manufacturers in terms of like charging. Like I think Tesla chargers, like you can get like a decent charge for like 30 minutes. A lot of these like third party ones are just like their network is not good. So then it just makes it really hard for you to want to buy any car that's not a Tesla, you know? Like electric vehicle that's not a Tesla.
Like a more affordable, I guess like a cheaper one. Yeah.
So I feel like once they make like charging just as good as Teslas, then the competition will increase, and then the cars will get better and the prices will drop too, which will probably make it, you know, better for everyone in a whole.
You ever see those like a lot? I think when they usually like sell hybrids or stuff, they have those commercials where they have like docks in your own garage. Those must be so expensive to put in though. Like they must be not cost efficient to like put an actual like charging station like hooked up to your like house electrical or something. Like that.
Probably not. But it's definitely that's probably the easiest way of doing it though.
I don't think it's that bad. Like let me look up how much a Tesla wall thing is.
While Tarun looks up this very confidential, super secretive information, in order to pay for our own Tesla dock, we need to take an ad. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back from the ad. We've found all the documentation necessary. Tarun, take it away.
So it said that the actual like wall like plug is $400. And to get it installed, it's like between $700 and $1,500. But I would assume it can't be that bad. Like I'm sure you could hire somebody like outside of like Tesla's own installation crew to do it for cheaper.
No, I don't know if you want to do that.
I wasn't thinking about like the actual appliance, but what about like monthly your electric bills to charge your car?
Oh, it's way cheaper than gas for 100%. Yeah.
Do you think you have to like modify your home electrical because it's a different like current that goes into the car, or?
No, I don't think you have to do that. I think you just get sent more power from like the energy company. But like it depends on when you charge too. But like apparently like if you charge at night, the cost per like kilowatt hour or whatever they do is cheaper. Like it's more like cents versus dollars or something like that.
Mm. Do you guys see yourself getting electric cars in the next like 10 years? 15 years?
Yeah, 100%. Although I still think I would need. I mean, 10 years from now maybe it'll change, but like I still think if I got like an electric car today, I would still need a gas car. Like if I went like a long distance.
Right.
Like let's say like a 4 or 5 hour drive, I would have to tack on like an hour and a half just for charging. Which is kind of crazy. Which I don't think it's worth it for that.
That's fair.
I'd be down to get like a hybrid for like that reason, so that like you can use like the battery for like the first like I don't know 2.5 hours of a trip, and then get gas, and then maybe if you stop somewhere overnight, you can charge again, and then like do the same thing. But yeah, I think. Unless you're doing like solely like in city travel or something where there's like a shit ton of stations everywhere where you can charge, I think it's not totally feasible at this point. But it could change like the next 10 years or so.
Yeah, sometimes like the stations are just like out of the way too. Yeah, like they gotta work on
and fucking Walmarts and shit.
Yeah, I feel like 10 years is a long time actually to see improvement, because I feel like in the last 5 years even there's been a huge
rapid change, man.
It's pretty crazy that you can run a car off a battery, bro.
It's pretty nuts.
Yeah.
The RCXD, bro.
Yeah.
With a 3 kill streak?
Yeah. 2 with hardline, though.
2 with hardline. That's true. That is true. Game changer.
People that don't play COD have no idea what we're saying.
Yo, new COD coming out.
Hey, what did Hardline Pro do again? Remember you get like the pro version of the perks? What the fuck did that do? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck it does though. Maybe you got like more.
You get like automatic predator missile as soon as you spawn or something.
But I have Harsha right here.
Oh my god!
You strike me as one to have a hybrid car, Harsha. Tell me about your thoughts on this endeavor.
Yeah, I definitely think I'll get an electric car for my next car. The next 10 to 15 years. But yeah, I think I would, like Tarun said, at least for now, I still have a old reliable like Camry or something.
I wish Harsha could care about me like he cares about the environment. But
what?
What are you gonna do?
Why do you want him to not care about you?
Wait, why did you say what, Harsha?
I care about you, man.
Oh, okay. I don't care about the environment. Should I ask a deep question?
Oh, how deep?
Are you guys currently happy with how your life is right now? Like if you look back,
Wait, what do you mean? Happy
like
with
how
my
content,
current life?
how content are you with how your life has been so far?
Should I rate it out of like 10 or something?
Yeah, sure.
I feel like I'm pretty high up, bro. Like I can't necessarily like complain about anything. I would definitely say I'm like, no, honestly, I could say I'm a 10. I feel like with my current situation, I feel like I could say I'm a 10. And that doesn't mean like I was thinking about maybe giving it like an 8 or a 9 because like I want to go to New York and it would be better or whatever. But like as it currently stands, like if I had to live like the next 5 years like this, okay, maybe that's like a long time. I don't know. Fuck.
So it's
I
more
could-
going
I
down
could-
to a 9.
I could last a decent amount of time more in my current situation and still be pretty happy with myself. I think for me it's more like I think I need more like challenges in life, but that doesn't mean like my situation is any worse because I want to tackle more, you know.
Yeah, that's good. Good outlook.
I give myself a 9. Just because I don't want to give myself a 10.
That's
But
the
I'm
only
also
reason why.
I'm pretty happy with how things have been going. I think I don't know. I don't think I would like change anything, but I feel like I could have had the confidence I have now a little bit sooner in my life. I think I developed a little bit more so in college than like before, which I think people do anyways. When you leave your house, you
It's like a natural progression.
But yeah, I think something like that, and then like just some choices about like what I studied in school, because I feel like I just threw away 100K. I didn't really learn anything.
What would you have learned instead?
I don't. I think I would have done like. That's a good question. I don't know, but I wouldn't have done what I did because I don't.
Like
I'm not using it.
Yeah.
Like yeah, I guess like if I really like think about it, like should have done like CS and just become like really good at CS, and then like been better now before it. But
like you also don't want to do CS moving on, right?
yeah, but maybe I like decided that I like really liked it or like found something or like I feel like if I was good at it, I would like it, you know.
I feel like ISC also taught you principles that's like relevant to what you'll be learning in your masters.
No.
Not really, nothing at all. I feel like you definitely will. You definitely learned some stuff that's probably relevant to what.
Dude, I can't tell you anything that I've retained that I.
But like, how about just like the integration of like processes, like among like in I feel like that's like important, you know, right?
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of integration, though, I recently thought about how little I remember from all the math classes that I took in college. Like,
yeah, same.
There was so much
Same.
like data science math that I completely fucking threw out the window, I guess, honestly. Like there's some functions that I've used at work or like at school, like at masters that I remember like doing the hand math for, but now I just call a function and it does it. Which I don't know. I feel like it's fine, but I also feel bad about myself that I literally do not remember like where to even like start with that math anymore.
No, but that's the whole point of like having these like programs that you can just call and do it for you.
No. I definitely understand that. Like, I think even when I was learning that shit, you know, back then I was like, oh, what the fuck is the point of this when I can just call a function?
Yeah.
It just like feels bad that like
you don't have the ability to.
Yeah, like I had to do it, and so like I wish I retained it, you know, at least to know like in the back of my head, you know.
I don't know. I think I don't know if all grad schools are like this, but at least for like MBA, I was just looking into it, and you don't have to declare like any sort of major for like your MBA. You just like take enough classes to get to like 15 or 16 credits, and like you can just take like a class in this, a class there, like. And I feel like that's so much better. Dude,
it's so good. It's honestly like the best way. I fucking hated. I don't know about you guys like with your undergrad majors, but for mechanical at Virginia Tech, like the amount of bullshit classes I had to take that had nothing to do with what I was cared for, or what I was interested in, it was ridiculous. I think like I didn't actually like have like freedom in the classes I took until maybe like junior year, like second semester. That's literally like 5 semesters of me just like being forced to take all these classes that I like didn't care for, didn't want to take, and it's just, I hated it, man. And then as soon as I got to grad school, like I had like full autonomy and like that stuff. I could like choose what path I wanted to go to, even if I like you could literally choose a path and like the next semester just completely, or the next quarter completely change what you wanted to do, just because like it was so flexible with like what classes you get. Like you only had to take like 2 classes within like a certain like focus area, and the rest was literally all up to you. Like you can choose what you want to learn, and I feel like that should always be how it should. Like that should be like that in undergrad. They shouldn't force you to take classes that you're not interested in just because they're like, oh, you got to see everything, all sides of the coin. Like if you come into undergrad knowing exactly what you want, like off the bat, like you shouldn't be forced into a path that you don't need to take, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, what I was gonna say is like at Tech, I took so many fucking bullshit like electives, bro. I took like American Indian Studies. Like dude, I didn't even know what the hell we even talk about that in class, bro. Well, like what a waste of time and money, dude. I could have like saved a year of my life if I got rid of those electives. Yeah. So fucking stupid.
Are you talking more about like within your like departments? Like is that where you had a lot of dumbass classes that like didn't make any sense? Or like didn't pertain to like what you wanted to study?
That's what I was talking about. I think Katrina was talking more about.
Yeah, I was talking more generally. I guess,
right.
Yeah.
So I think it's different for like STEM and lib arts because like for me, like I had like probably my freshman year, maybe the beginning of my sophomore year, I had classes like that. But after that, like I think it also could be different because I had a concentration, and so like my path was a little more narrowed. Yeah. But I did have a lot of autonomy with the kinds of classes that I had to take. I mean, like, I had departmental classes for, like, the communications department and then major specific and then concentration specific. So, like, my path was, like, very... Like, there was probably only, like, 2 or 3, like, different classes I could have taken along the way. But, like, because it was something I was interested in, for the most part, other than, like, those, like, comm classes senior year, like, the capstone ones, I didn't have a problem taking them because they were interesting and I knew that they'd be helpful down the road. So I think it's a difference also with how like STEM is taught and then how lib arts is taught. Because I think STEM a lot of the times they're like, oh, this is the only way you can do things. Yeah. And this is the only like route to go about things. Because like obviously scientifically, like there's only going to be one right answer to a problem usually. So there's like, this is the formula, this is the solution that you get there. And so maybe things aren't as like broadly thought about, I guess.
Yeah, I think like the problem with mechanical engineering like as a field is that it's just so broad that like there's like probably like within mechanical engineering there's probably like 4 different branches that you can go off into. And then within those 4 branches it's probably like another 2 branches and it's just like they want you to cover all of it so that you make a well-informed decision by the time you leave. But the thing is, I feel like it's more that you've learned so much that you don't know enough in anything specifically. So that like, when you leave, at least for me, not everyone felt that way. But like for me, I just like felt like I didn't know enough about a certain field for me to be comfortable working. And I feel, I don't know, I think it's just like, not Virginia Tech, but just like all universities in terms of mechanical engineering. Like they just struggle to like come up with a curriculum that can like allow you to focus on something more specifically after your sophomore year.
Yeah.
I also think with STEM, like technology and shit changes so quickly that a lot of the shit that they teach, apart from like the underlying like math or physics or whatever, like that can be applied to anything. Because it changes so quickly, like what they teach you just doesn't apply anymore to your day-to-day job, you know? Like me and Harsha had to do some projects in our CS classes where we had to write like assembly code or like machine language. What the fuck? Like, I mean, it wasn't necessarily like a bad lecture, but like, I don't know, it's just so like useless. Like I would never ever use that ever again in my life. So yeah, I don't know. I just wish like, and I hope for like my kids when they go to college, it's more like, I hope college is more like YouTube in a sense where they just like release a new video and it's like a new topic about something new, you know what I mean, that they would actually use later on. Or like, you know what I mean? Instead of just like some old curriculum that's like passed on from professor to professor to professor to professor, like using the same old textbooks and shit like that.
Yeah.
So, Ron, what's your rating?
Oh, my
Oh,
life.
shit.
Wait, you shouldn't go yet. You go.
No, we're going in descending order. You go.
No, I posed the question. You got to go.
No. We're going in descending order. You go.
How do you know mine's descending, man? What about mine?
I'm pretty sure I know yours is above mine. Go ahead.
I think I'd give my life. See, okay, here's where I would make a distinction. When I say like, because I could, if I say like a low number, I feel like I'm not, like I'm being ungrateful for the life I've had, and I've been given.
Don't
a lot
worry,
of
whatever
opportunities.
number you're gonna say.
So like
say it.
I'm ranking it more about like what I did in my life, given the opportunities that I had.
Oh, that's different to how I answered them.
Yeah, sorry, I should have. I guess I made the clarification for myself, but I mean, you can answer whatever. I never really said that originally, so you can stick with your answer. It's fine.
Yeah.
But given my interpretation, I would probably give my life like a 6. I would say. Why are you lower still?
Yeah.
For both questions.
To be determined. Continue.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just like thinking about it more recently, just because like I just started a new job, so I feel like it's like the next like chapter in my life. I don't know. I guess looking back, I feel like I didn't really capitalize on my experience at Stanford. I feel like I could have done more in terms of like getting to know people, maybe like getting like more connections, maybe like more job offers along those lines. Like I'm grateful that I have a job now, and like it is a good job. It's a good paying job, and like I feel like I'll learn a lot from it. But I just feel like I didn't capitalize on the 2 years after college when I was in grad school. Like I got my degree and that was great, and I learned a lot. But I feel like I could have done more. But like in terms of personal growth, I mean, like honestly, if you asked me this question after the first year of master's, I would have said like maybe like a 3. But I feel like that year alone, last year, kind of like helped me gain more confidence in myself, and given that, I feel like that kind of boosted my score. But yeah, hopefully when maybe like a year or 2 time when you look back, it's a higher score. But yeah, for now, I'd say a 6. But I'm always like, it's good. That's good. I feel like I don't want to give myself a high score and then get complacent. I feel like I want to work towards something. So, all right, Christian.
Okay, so
wait, why'd you give it? Wait, what? Why are you flicking me off?
You saying I'm complacent?
You didn't hear this question. Why are you comparing your answer to mine, man? It's all different experiences.
So
I'm a 1. I have a long way to go.
Dude, New York, yeah, it's pretty far.
Especially an electric car.
So when you first said this question, it's gonna sound weird because it's close to your number, but like just below. But the first number that popped in my head was like 5'5", and I don't know where that number comes from. I mean, obviously, I can't think.
You want a 5'5" in the 100-yard dash, bro?
Bro, I'm not Eli Manning. What do you think?
55 isn't between 1
Chad
and 10,
Powers?
Christian. Sorry.
Anyway, so I think I didn't really put it into like the perspective that Haran just did, where it was like giving you opportunities. I guess that is also how I answered the question, though, because comparatively to like how other people have been given opportunities, yeah, maybe should be a little bit higher. But yeah, in the context of like the opportunity that have been afforded and like the things I've done, like I guess this is a good time to bring up that I just got a job. So
hey, let's
Let's go.
fucking go, dude.
and I'll be moving to Nova. So my job
Let's
is in
go.
DC. Although by the time this podcast comes out, my first day in the office is like tomorrow. So yeah, surprise. Anyway, so yeah, it's just the fact that it took me till, how old am I? 24 and a half ish, and like, yeah, the timeline wasn't ideal for me, and like there's a lot of things about like how I approach things that I still want to change, and like I think my perspective on things is pretty fine. Like I think I approach things like pretty like unbiased and like pretty fair when it comes to situations and how I deal with things. I try not to focus too much on just like what I want out of the situation. I try to be inclusive and that sort of thing. So I think that's why my number's a little bit higher than maybe my initial thought could have been. But yeah, I think I'm just getting like a late start on a lot of things, and like what Haram was saying, like I think my relationships with people have deteriorated a lot over time, and so I have a part to play in that as well. So it's not just, I can't just blame everybody else for that. So it's also partly on me. So I wish I'd done a better job with things like that. And yeah, like I had a lot of great opportunities and stuff in college, and I chose to go down different routes of things that, looking back, like maybe I could have made more out of things. But I think it's also harsh to just kind of like sit there and like feel sorry for yourself for things that you've done in the past when you can't change them anymore. So
yeah, I mean, I think it's healthy to look back on things, but it's really easy to also just get stuck up on things.
Yeah.
It's like hard to move past things that you did in the past.
So yeah, definitely a lot of room for personal growth with like being comfortable with like who you are and that kind of stuff. So hey, we're above 50%. That's W.
We take those. All right, now's the fun part. Now we evaluate other people's lives. So, how? I'm just kidding. We won't be doing that.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just thought it would be interesting to talk about on the podcast, and then we can maybe look back this in a year's time and
Talk about this on September 20th, 2023. We'll see what changed.
Given that we still record after we're all on these different time zones, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. 180, yeah.
If this podcast makes it through like all our different lives in the next like 3 to 5 months, we're gonna be.
There's no stopping.
We're the Hall of Famers, bro. What the fuck? What the hell kind of goated shit is that, bro? No one can keep up with us, bro. Let's go.
Harsha, if you get married and we still have the podcast, bro, that's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think you'll quit the podcast when you get married?
Nah, I can't quit you guys.
Shut the
Are
fuck
you guys
up.
scared to quit because you don't want to be the first one to quit? Or
yeah. I know, but honestly, no, I'm kidding. Honestly, I feel like maybe this should be the next question, right? Instead of saying like, "Oh, this person's like too happy," 2 out of 10 happy. Who do you think will be the first to like post in the chat like, "Hey, yo, I don't think I can do the podcast no more." Blah blah blah.
I think it's gonna be me, man. Cause I'll be like so far away from you guys, and you guys are gonna be ganging up on me. And
all right, that wasn't my reasoning, but I also thought it was gonna be you.
What was your reasoning?
I don't know. I just feel like it's gonna be you.
I feel like I'm gonna consider myself a burden for making you guys record so late.
Bro, I'll stay up all night.
You should, bro. Let's record at 6 your time.
Bro, I'll be getting out of work. I'll be driving. It'll be like a fucking 2-hour commute with the traffic and stuff. I won't get home till like 7.
2 hour, bro.
Nah, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Hopefully not. Knock on wood, bro. I don't want to be driving more than 30 minutes to get back home from work. I honestly feel like no one's gonna leave the podcast for someone else. If one person leaves, we're just gonna end it. I guess you're asking who's gonna initiate ending it, or you're just gonna be the first person to just leave the podcast straight up.
Either one, I guess.
I think that we're all gonna be in it for a long time, but if Christian one day decides he doesn't want to do this anymore, there's no podcast without Christian. Christian. Especially now that he'll be more busy now, maybe.
Yeah, inevitably, I feel like we're gonna have to divvy up editing if Christian.
I mean, not to get too deep into my job, part of my job at my job is podcast editing. So also I'm not that busy. Actually, looking at my schedule, so I thought about it as what if I went to the office? For context, I just started yesterday, right? It's this place in DC. It's a financial whatever. And so I was okay, what if I was in the office? And then yesterday I would have I had probably 5 meetings yesterday, right? And I would have got there 9:30, would have left at 4:30. So that's what, 7 hours?
7.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a normal day for most people, right? But today, my first meeting was at 11. And my last meeting was at 2:30. So I could have just been at and Tuesday is normally the day that I'm gonna be in office. And so I'll get there I'll leave my apartment at 9:30, 10 o'clock, and then get back at 4. And I feel now I'm pressured to want to do things outside of work so that at least I'm trying to catch up with everybody else. But once I'm at work, after that, I guess I'm technically on call, or if somebody has to have a spontaneous meeting on Teams or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm there until 4:30, or 5:30, but I'm kind of basically I just have to show up to my meetings and get my work done outside of that, and then they don't care otherwise.
Yeah.
So
welcome to work in life, man.
I feel too. Maybe this is because I don't completely enjoy what I do at work, but I feel it kind of motivates me to do shit outside of work,
Yeah. I think
doing shit that I don't care about makes me think about shit that I want to do that I care about,
Yeah, I feel that. I haven't gotten to the point of, it's only been 48 hours, so I haven't gotten to the point of where I don't care about it yet. But when I get there, when I start editing these podcasts about these dudes talking about the financial crisis and like fucking like Santorini, I'm sure.
Dude, should we try to imitate that for one of our episodes? Let us know in the comments if you want to know.
Like, yo, our episodes are dry, but they're not going to be that fucking dry. Okay, I promise you.
Christian, so since you're moving to Nova soon, what's one thing that you're least looking forward to about living here?
Can I answer? Can I answer for him?
Sure.
All right. I think Christian Dench is going to be the constant social activity that might be required of him.
I mean, that is part of it, but that's not like the main thing.
I think the main thing, can I just say, I think the main thing is that he's going to miss all of us because we're all leaving Nova.
Why are you making it so depressing? We're not even gone yet.
Okay, so, I mean, like, before you guys even answer.
Harsh needs to guess now. Harsh needs to guess.
What's not to like about Nova, man? I love it here.
It's not an ad, bro. Just fucking answer the question.
No, I'm trying to think, because, like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of something that I don't like about living here.
Think about Christian. How about you?
Yeah, but what's wrong with it? I don't think there's anything that you would like super dislike.
Then why did you even ask the question?
Because I need to know. I would ask a question if I know the answer. I need him to tell me.
Yeah, but like you make it sound like there's nothing to like.
Just say something.
Or nothing not to
just
like.
Say something.
There's something? Okay. I think DC gets super boring after a while. DC and Arlington.
Oh, that's it.
Okay. Can I talk now?
Yeah, you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess.
Wait, guys, let's go again.
round two.
So, like I said, I think the commuting part is going to be kind of annoying. It is nice that my job like offers like I don't know, like compensation.
A Metro Pass.
Kind of, yeah. They give me like a reimbursement for travel, so that's nice. But I don't know. I think like taking the metro like into DC, it's one thing to like get around Nova on the metro, I think, but like to actually go into DC, like also the other thing I'm gonna hate is like dressing up for work. Like that's gonna be
dude, yeah.
You have to? Is that like a?
They never said it, but like I've been watching people in like meetings and they're not like suit and tie, but like they're like
khakis and
like a polo
dress
and
shirt.
khakis or something.
Yeah, or like a dress shirt and like this like one intern on my team, he was wearing like a dress shirt and a tie, and I was like, oh, maybe he's going like overboard. But then I was like looking at other people in the room, they were like, oh, they're kind of like just like kind of like semi-formally. So
I guess it's only 2 days a week, so it's not horrible.
Yeah.
But
Once it starts getting colder, you could just pull up with a jacket and like a quarter zip, and that'd be perfectly fine.
Yeah. I'm already wearing like fucking cardigans over t-shirts to my meetings, so like it's fine. But yeah, that and like Harlan's not wrong about like now I have like an easy excuse like, oh, I live 1,000 miles away.
Don't fucking talk to me.
But like, yeah, I'm not like that into socializing all the time. I think like when I move there, like I'm gonna want to be like social with everybody, and then I'm gonna get burned out pretty quickly, and then have to find like a medium.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's like the least of my worries, honestly, at this point, because like I have to move like really quickly.
Yeah.
So I'm more concerned about that right now, and then like socializing with everybody like a secondary on my list.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sure at some point. But yeah, everybody's moving away. It's okay. I'll be fine. Everybody's leaving in January. It should be fine. I'll figure it out. It'll be a surprise for me. But speaking of things that are a surprise to me and maybe some others, so the surprise is Harsha has a question, and I know I just made a huge build up to fucking introducing a question, but
that's where we're at.
Here it is. Take it away, Bucko.
Yeah, so I'm actually taking a class right now, a marketing class. Just because it's cheaper to take it now than
so spontaneous of you
during school. So yeah, we have to do like fucking discussion posts every week.
Trude's favorite.
But this week it was identify a brand that has effective marketing. So I'm just curious, like I didn't do any research for mine, so it just came to me. So I was wondering what brand comes to your mind first, and then I'll let you guess what brand came to my mind. And Haran already knows the answer though.
What brand has effective marketing?
Yeah.
Oh, There's a big one. I feel like Apple.
Yeah.
I feel like Apple's marketing is always crazy.
Yeah, I can see Apple.
Although maybe there's some better brands. I'm trying to think.
Is there a brand that like where you like remember or have a vivid memory like seeing an ad and you're like, I'm getting this, or like I need to get a product from this person like right now or this company right now?
The best ad I remember seeing recently, and I don't watch a lot of ads honestly, so that's the problem. Other than I guess on Instagram, but like during the Super Bowl, the Coinbase like QR code that bounced from side to side, that was a really good fucking ad. Like it got everyone curious, like what the hell it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what I learned in this class is that marketing is more than just selling and advertising. So it's not just ads; it could be
like product
other
placement?
things,
like branding.
Yeah,
I feel like Apple as a whole is probably
like like a customer loyalty is a big part of marketing too.
Apple,
like
then Apple, dude.
But we also just spent a lot of time like talking about like Tesla. I feel like maybe not them marketing, just the way like Elon markets like himself, just like as a public figure. And like everybody knows that he owns.
That's true. This man always stays in the news cycle, I feel like, or like stay somewhat relevant in like pop culture.
I'm trying to think about like products because I feel like I'm more marketed, or like I get more marketing from like figures than products themselves. Because I feel like I used to be like pretty naive with like, oh, I don't know, like this person endorsed this, so I have to buy it. I mean, when I say like naive, I mean like in like middle school or maybe high school. Maybe like Nike.
Yeah, Nike's.
I was thinking Nike.
Maybe when I was in high school and like when like growing up with like basketball and everything, I think Jordan Brand did a good job of like appealing to athletes. I think even like colleges and shit, like when you're applying to schools and stuff, when they try and sell themselves to you, I think like they do like a pretty efficient job with trying to like lure you in. I don't know. Is it the same for like grad school too? Or are they not like market as hard because it's a smaller pool?
I don't think they work as hard personally, because I feel like if you're looking to go to grad school, then you probably already have an idea of like what you want to do, like what program, this stuff. Whereas like undergrad, I feel like people just apply like wherever, kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's a lot less like high stakes and also less expensive.
I would say graduate school, at least for like my field, like I think the most marketing I would see is just like what they put on the website about like the research they're doing. Because I feel that's like the biggest draw for like STEM people, at least, like research in grad school, and then like they'll just like publicize like what the professors are doing, the research they're doing. I feel like that's like kind of the draw people have to go into certain schools. And I guess Stanford said they had no research, so that's why I went there. So I guess that worked.
So all good answers. You guys want to guess what brand I picked?
Originally I was going to say Nike, but I feel like it's not anymore.
Lobos?
Domino's. Effective marketing for sure.
What about Papa John? You want Papa John?
Nah.
In you?
No, so I'll share a little bit about what I wrote. And you can add like pictures and stuff to make your thing support your argument. Basically.
You added pictures?
Yeah, I had some pictures. I really went all out because I really felt passionate about it. Yeah, well, I was gonna pick I was on the phone with Amrita when I was doing this, and I was like, "Oh, what company should I pick?" And then the first thing I said was Apple. She was like, "Nah, it's kind of lame. Like everyone's gonna pick Apple. It's so obvious."
Samsung.
And then I was gonna pick Nike, but that was like the example in the textbook, so I didn't want to pick that. So then I had to go to my third brand that I use a lot, which is Domino's.
You use a lot.
They provide a lot of transparency to their customers, which improves like it lowers the cost basically for customer value because of the Domino's pizza tracker. You know exactly where your pizza is at all times, and you know how long you have to wait to fend off your hungry stomach. That's actually word for word from my discussion post.
Fend off your hungry stomach.
And then they have.
I'm gonna use it next time I hang. I'm gonna say that. Oh, so don't mind me. I'm trying to fend off my hungry stomach.
Don't mind me. I'm just fending right now. They call me Fendi.
They call me Fendi.
They also like really care about the environment, which helps the bottom line. Because they are partnering with Neuro, that self-driving.
Did you find this out before you did this?
I saw the ads. I just Googled it a little bit.
Oh, okay.
And then like I saw the ad for the self-driving delivery thing, and that car has like 0 emissions, so they say on their website. So I wrote talked about that. Then I talked about how in India, like pizza is different, Domino's is different. They have like actually Indian curries on pizza, so it's like you know catering to different audiences. And then I finished up with my favorite part, which is talking about the TV advertisements. I talked about how like we just decided to get pizza one day because my dad saw an ad, and then also they have an ad for, since gas is expensive, you get 20% off everything on the menu right now. So I put a picture.
If you pick it up.
Yeah. And also, yeah, if you pick it up, they're like, oh, you're your own delivery driver, so you get credit to your next order, which is, you know, customer loyalty and stuff. Yeah. What do you guys think? Did
you see what other people wrote as a discussion post, or?
Yes, I was the first one. Everyone put Domino's. The ones I had to respond to 2 of them, so I just picked the 2 under mine. It was Apple and then NFL. So I think
NFL.
I think you made a good argument, man. I think you do well.
Thank you.
What the hell kind of effective marketing does NFL use?
Man, they try to over like compensate. Like they do tons of like, so like during Hispanic Heritage Month, which it is right now, and like during like Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and bro, they just try to like overcompensate pretty much for their like overly male white audience.
Right.
And they try and like make themselves seem more diverse. At least this is like how I see it.
I mean, they do a lot of like community outreach programs too.
I think.
But is that marketing? That's just.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, like it's associated with the name. Like they have like a whole. I forgot.
Yeah, it provides good social impact. You know.
I don't know. I feel like NFL. Like,
are you gonna start talking like this from now on?
I feel like the NFL has to do no marketing because. I feel like the NFL has to do no marketing because if there's a game, you're gonna watch it. You know what I mean? It's not like.
Yeah, but that's the product of the marketing is the fact that if there's a game, you're gonna watch it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, if they do all these other stuff outside of the game to like appeal to larger audiences, that's just helping promote the product. And
like the work they did before, like kind of like ingratiated themselves into like American culture, to where like it's the #1 sport in the U.S. Where probably like 40 years ago it was baseball, I think, where it was like they call it like I think America's pastime, and like now like football, like the Super Bowl is the most like highly televised event in the world.
Yeah,
and like
NFL is trying to like broaden their range to the world.
Yeah,
right? Like they have all these like international games that they're trying to get into,
and like used to not be able to like do things on Sundays because people went to church, but like now people associate with like doing anything on Sunday because men are watching football all day, like that kind of shit. So
yeah,
okay, fair.
Like altered American culture in their own way, which is like kind of crazy, also kind of weird, but yeah.
Would you have it any other way though?
I mean, like I kind of wish it wasn't from like 1 p.m. to like 12:30 a.m.
Oh, move to the West Coast, man.
10 a.m.
Okay, I wish it wasn't from like what 10 to 11.
No, it ends
10 to 9. I don't know. It's just it's a lot. If you watch it like now, I have to watch it where it's fantasy, where you have to watch like every fucking game because you have players in every fucking game, so you have to watch it. And it's just
you don't have to watch it, but you can just follow on your phone. What's going on?
Yeah, but you
feel I mean, I watch like everything, so I can't even.
So, like, I like how I watch soccer now, where like I just watch the games that are important to me, and then I can just not care about the other kind of things. I can watch highlights of the other games.
Yeah,
that kind of thing. It is what it is. I feel like sports marketing is just like its own other thing, and like when it comes to like sports washing in like the Middle East and how like all these Middle Eastern like equity firms are taking over teams and it's just a whole different battle. That's another topic for another day.
Like, Tune, if every NFL game had a halftime performance, would you be in? Like, would you be all in?
No, because then they would all go to dog shit. They start bringing on like local talent, like fuckers or something.
Like local talent,
like fucking like people with like I don't know, like in like the more southern games, people with like cowboy boots and cowboy hats and shit, and there'd be like some country music. Oh, fuck off.
Yeah, but shout out Red Panda though. She's hype.
Why are you laughing so hard?
Because you're so fucked. You just said they're bringing on local talent, bro. That's so fucked. I was supposed to go big, bro. They need these platforms to go big. What do you?
I don't think an NFL halftime shows.
What?
I don't think the NFL halftime show is a great place for them to, be.
No, I mean, there's like a 60,000 people in the crowd. There's people watching at home if they televise that part. So, I mean, I feel like at that point, like any audience is good to have.
Sure.
maybe
I guess my question is, how could NFL? Is it just the game is just not entertaining to you? I'm saying, like, is there any way they could advertise themselves that make it appealing to you?
I think the commentary. I think the commentary is like really catered to people who already know the game and the sport and the players specifically.
Like it's too technical.
It's not even that, honestly. I feel like if they give me a reason to be like, if they give me a reason to be invested in these players by telling their story or like how they came up, like where they like.
You should fully shit.
You're just contradicting yourself.
What?
Are you doing that on purpose?
No.
Dude, literally last Thursday night football,
Rams
you're saying this Chris Collins is not fucking talking about anything about football right now. We're literally talking about all the more bullshit right now about these players. Like, why don't you just talk about like what's happening on the field? You said that like word for word. I can't tell if you're trying to.
Okay, maybe I'm saying it incorrectly then. So I'll give you an example, right?
Okay.
With the F1 documentary, right? And I know football is a way bigger sport than F1 in terms of like the players and all that type of shit, right? But with the F1 documentary that was on Netflix, they really deep dived into
the drivers,
each of the drivers, the teams, the dynamics between the teams, and like that type of stuff. You know what I mean? Which made
you have HBO Max, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have HBO Max?
Yeah.
All right, watch Hard Knocks.
Hard Knocks?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
watch
like
that. Hey, actually, watch a couple episodes and then come back to the podcast.
Okay.
And
Yeah. Watch the most recent ones and then just watch Lions games. You'll be good.
So what I'm saying is like the documentary was a way for me to gain that information that I did not have before.
No, I get
right?
yeah.
And now that
100%.
I'm invested in the players, it's a lot easier for me to be like, oh, you know what? Like he's playing, like this guy's like in first place right now. He was doing so shit last year. Like this is how he this is how he's improving. Like this is how he's like competing against his like natural rival, whatever, all this type of shit, right?
Yeah.
And to you, that stuff I feel like is pretty known because you guys follow it year on year, right? But they don't make that information very clear or known to the people that are watching the games pretty casually, like every once in a while, right? So like what I'm saying is the only place that they could potentially do that and try to draw me in better is through the commentary. But the commentary is like if they talk about the players, it's like super fucking like bullshit. Like it's not like thought out or anything. And I know it's live, right? So but like you can still prepare shit for when like stuff is going on, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't have to be so brain dead. And then also this fucking Chris Collinsworth guy, he doesn't even talk about football. He doesn't even talk about football.
Hey, Al.
Yeah, but I feel like part of what you're saying is like, so you watch the Drive to Survive, right? And that's something outside of like, would you get that background if you just watched all of the F1 races?
No,
but I
like about the drivers.
Yeah.
You wouldn't, but I do think I would learn. Maybe because it's like a smaller sport, or like smaller in terms of like population.
Right.
I feel like I would learn more than because the commentary in F1 is generally pretty good in comparison to NFL. I would say. Would you not?
But
agree?
F1 commentary is definitely more geared towards they don't like talk about personal life outside of the race. Like when the race starts, it's like pretty much just them talking about like, well, they'll just like pinpoint because like I mean as soon as the race starts, after a couple of laps, like drivers are pretty far apart, so there's like different battles going on.
Yeah.
So like they focus pretty heavily on the race. I feel like they don't really talk much about like off the track stuff during the race at least.
But wouldn't you agree that like they say more stuff like, oh, like they refer to like the drivers like previous teams or something if he's like competing against his previous team and like all this
I mean they'll draw to that, but I mean like I feel like the reason why I like the commentator in the race is because like there's always the one guy that does it and he's like super like the lead commentator is like always like super into it and he's like, super exciting to listen to. But I think the most important thing to me is that like they do a good job of each race like explaining like what each team's strategy is like on their outside in and outside looking in, and then like also it's just like like I feel like they just like explain what's happening really well to like a person that doesn't know what's going on at all. Like they're like, oh, why are you using hard tires? Or they'll be like, oh, they're using hard tires because of certain like conditions of like certain stuff like that. And I feel like they don't really like care to talk about like the off the like race like antics that drivers are going through, which I appreciate. I feel like it's a good thing that they just focus on what's happening on the race day.
Yeah, and I should also call out that maybe I have some sort of like, I guess, survivor bias because I don't watch a lot of NFL anyway, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So maybe I'm not fully aware of like all the commentary and all that shit, but when every time I've seen it with you guys, the commentators are always talking about something that is so unrelated. And I know that for a fact because every time I watch football, I'm like, what the fuck are they saying? And I say that to you guys and you're like, yeah. So maybe it is good here and there, but in the games that I have watched personally, it's very poor.
I understand that.
Yeah.
Hopefully Tarun can find a way to appreciate the art that is the NFL, even though I can say that sometimes they get a little too handsy. Isn't that right, Harsha?
I don't know.
Well, we'll just leave that towel unturned. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. This is the conclusion, just to make it 100% clear. We hope you guys enjoyed listening to all of our life recaps. It's one thing we didn't mention. The end of summer session surprise.
If
you made it to the end of this episode, you are the first to hear. Summer sessions is over. We had our last episode last week with Carl and Naomi. It went really well. So yeah, we want to thank all of our guests who came on throughout the whole summer. We will be hopefully going back to our alternating schedule of guest and non-guest every other week. Going to be a busy time, especially given all the life events we talked about this whole episode, but I think we'll make it work. And, if you're a new guest and you'd like to come on the show, make sure you hit us up on at an interesting discussion on Instagram.
We're going to find new guests, man.
We'd be more than happy to have you come on. Or if you're an old guest and you want to come on and you haven't been on the last 2 months, then everybody's welcome. Anybody, if you have anybody that maybe they don't listen and you think they'd be a great fit, just reach out. We'd love to have them on. Anyway, that's the end of that blurb. Thanks for a great summer sessions. We hope you guys enjoyed that. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Like I say, you can catch us on Instagram at an interesting discussion. You can catch us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Amazon, Microsoft Outlook, iCloud.
Oh, you use Outlook? God, that sucks.
I know, I fucking hate it. What else is down there on the taskbar? FaceTime.
Star CCM Plus.
Yeah.
Okay, Star Trek.
SimCenter 3D, NX,
Adobe Acrobat,
ANSYS,
Calendar, App
Fluent,
Store, System Preferences,
Java,
System Preferences,
and finally OneDrive. So
OneDrive.
We hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, thanks for an awesome summer sessions, and we will see you all next week. Woo! All right,
Bye.
Bye.